Yes, I'm live now. This is the first time I'm doing live here. Welcome once again to another new video. This is SAHOO and you're watching SAHOO's tutorial. Here I am making the mock test for the upcoming MHSET. So this is day 7 here. Yeah, in the earlier videos I have discussed some important MCQ questions along with explanation. And this is day 7 here for the upcoming MHSET mock test on English literature. So here is your first question on your screen. But before starting the session, I would like to request all of you, please do subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon to get more notification that I will upload in future. So here is your first question on your screen. Let's get into the video. I think everything is okay. So let's start. So the first question is that that is Mina Cordy, the most independent and high-powered women character of Saul Bellow's novel, occurs in. So there is a character called Mina Cordy, the most independent and high-powered women character of Saul Bellow's novel, and that character occurs in the victim, Dazzling Man, Herzog, or the Dean's December. So Mina Cordy appears in the novel The Dean's December, written by Saul Bellow, and Saul Bellow's first work is Dazzling Man, and that was written in diary format. So here the right option is Dean December. And the book's main character is called Albert Cordy, a meditative academic who faces a crisis, accompanies his Romanian-born astrophysicist wife to her communist-ruled native country, where they deal with the death of his mother-in-law. And this sojourn allows Cordy to observe the workings of totalitarian regime in particular and the Eastern Bloc in general, and a perspective which provides him with insight into the human condition. Moving on to the question number 2, which is Saul Bellow's first novel written in diary form? Dazzling Man, Herzog, The Dean's December, The Adventures of Augie Murch. So Saul Bellow's first novel is Dazzling Man, and that was written in the form of diary. So here A is the right option. Moving on to the, let's look at the explanations here. Written in diary format, the story centers on the life of an unemployed young man called Joseph, and his relationship with his wife and friends, and his frustrations with living in Chicago and waiting to be drafted. Okay, moving on to the question number 3, the Book of Margery Kemp. The Book of Margery Kemp is written in omniscient narration, first person, second person, third person. So the Book of Margery Kemp was written in third person. D is the right option. The Book of Margery Kemp is a medieval text attributed to Margery Kemp, an English Christian mystic and pilgrim who lived at the turn of the 15th century. And that is Margery Kemp's book is written in the third person, employing the phrase "this creature" when referring to Kemp in order to display humility before God, via the distancing from herself by abandoning the first person narrative form. Moving on to the question number 4, which of the following Thomas Hardy's characters utter these lines? And the line is that this woman is more to me dead as she is, and than ever you were or are or can be. So this woman is more to me dead as she is, than ever you were or are or can be. Donald Farfrae from The Mayor of Casterbridge, Frederick Steiner from Under the Granite Tree, Clement Yeobright from Return of the Native, or the Sergeant Troy from Far from the Madding Crowd. So this line actually was told by spoken by Sergeant Troy in the novel called Far from the Madding Crowd. So here D is the right option. Let's look at this explanation here. The slamming door of the coach house announced Troy, that is Troy's arrival, and he asked what had happened, but Bathsheba would not tell him. And the two approached the coffin. A candle illuminated the bodies. Overcome, Troy sank to his knees, then kissed Fanny's face. Bathsheba cried out to him. He pushed her away and told her, "This woman is more to me, dead as she is, than ever you were or are or can be." Turning to Fanny, he said, "In the sight of heaven, you are my very, very wife." So here the character is, it is Troy, Sergeant Troy. Okay, moving on to the question number 5 here. Saul Bellow conveys a religious vision in which novel? Your options are More Die of Heartbreak, Dazzling Man, Herzog, Humboldt's Gift. So religious vision was portrayed in the novel called More Die of Heartbreak. So here A is the right option. Oliver Goldsmith work that is the deserted village, opens with a description of a village, and what was the name of that village? That is Auburndale, Auburndie, Auburndale, or Auburn. So here that is Oliver Goldsmith deserted village opens the description of a village named, and the name of the village was D, that is Auburn. So D is the right option over here. The character Little Nell is a creation of Hardy, no Eliot, Oscar Wilde, no Dickens. So the character Little Nell is a creation of Dickens, and he is also known as Nell Trent. Nell Trent. Little Nell is a fictional character, a frail child who is a major figure in the Charles Dickens' The Old Curiosity Shop. And he is also known as Nell Trent, also referred to as Little Nell, is a fictional character in 1841 novel The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens. Moving at the question number 8 here. Which of the following poets wrote a poem with beginning lines? And the beginning lines are: how vainly men themselves amuse to win the palm, the oak or bass. Andrew Marvell, Henry Vaughan, Richard Crasso, George Herbert. So these are the opening lines of Andrew Marvell's poem called The Garden. The Garden. These are the opening lines of the poem called The Garden, written by Andrew Marvell. And look at here, that how vainly men themselves amuse to win the palm, the oak or bass, and their incessant labor see, crowned from some single harbor tree, with short and narrow verse set, doth prudently their toils upbraid, while all flows and all trees do close, weave the garlands of repose. So this is a poem written by Garden, and the opening lines of the poem is how vainly men themselves amuse. Moving on to question number 9. Idylls of the King. Idylls of the King is an illustration of Tennyson's deep interest in medieval legends, the role of the king, hero worship, or the contemporary condition. So here the right option is the role of the king. So B is the right option. B is the right option. The role of the king is the right option. Idylls of the King is an illustration of Tennyson's deep interest, and in that you will see that here the role of the king is the right option. Okay. Now moving on to the question number 10 here. Little Time. Little Time is a character in Hardy's novel The Return of the Native, Jude the Obscure, Mayor of Castlewich, or Tales of the Dear Willers. So Little Time is a character in Hardy's novel, that is Jude the Obscure. Jude the Obscure. Jude the Obscure is the right option. B is the right option over here. Moving on, Little Father Time is a character in Jude the Obscure. Which one of the following poets named romantic poet as pond poets? So here are some poets who has called the romantic poet as pond poets. So you will have to identify that poet. Sadi, Robert Sadi, Shelley, Keats, Byron. So it was Robert Sadi who has named the romantic poets as the pond poets. So here A is the right option, that is Robert Sadi. Robert Sadi has named the romantic poet as pond poets. So here A is the right option. Okay. Now the next question, question number 12 here. The Charge of the Light Brigade. It is a Charge of the Light Brigade commemorates the Boer War, the Battle of Trafalgar, or the Crimean War, or War of the Roses. So the Charge of the Light Brigade here, written by Tennyson, it was commemorating the Crimean War. So here C is the right option. C is the right option. In Alexander Pope's mock heroic poem, that is The Rape of the Lock, Belinda is invited to play which of the following card games upon arriving at Hampton Court. So here Belinda is invited to play a game. You will have to identify that game, and after the following card games upon arriving at Hampton Court. Okay. So here the options are Umber, Poker, Rummy, Chess. So here Belinda was invited to play Umber. So here A is the right option. Umber is the right option. A. Umber. Okay. Next question. The Elgin Marbles. The Elgin Marbles, it has inspired kids to write Endymion, Lamia, the Grecian aunt, that is ode on a Grecian aunt, or Melancholy. So the Elgin Marbles had inspired kids to write the the poem that is ode on a Grecian aunt. So here C is the right option. Moving on to the question number 15. It was the best of times. It was the worst of time. And it was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. And it was the epoch of incredulity. And it was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. This is the famous opening lines of Which work of Dickens? Hard Times, no. David Copperfield, no. Oliver Twist, no. So these lines appear in A Tale of Two Cities written by Charles Dickens. Okay, moving on to the question number 16. Which novel of Graham Greene deals with the persecution of Catholics in Mexico? So the novel is dealing with the persecution of Catholics in Mexico done by Graham Greene. So you will have to identify that novel. Your options are The End of the Affair, The Comedians, The Power and the Glory, or Travels with My Aunt. So the right option is here, The Power and the Glory. The Power and the Glory, in the novel The Power and the Glory, we will find that there is the persecution of the Catholics in Mexico. So here C is the right option over here. Graham Greene's The Power and the Glory, published in the year 1940. Look at here, The Power and the Glory, that is published in the 1940. The story of a fugitive whiskey priest in 1930s Mexico. It is a short pathos-laden novel about the religious persecution after the Mexican Revolution, and the Catholic Church at the time was under attack for its considerable wealth and social control. Moving on to question number 17. These dialogues between actual person of the past or of landlord's own day deal with a wide variety of subjects. About which work is this said? Okay, so these were all works written by Walter Savage Landon, and for which work this was told. Okay, this was told. These dialogues between actual persons of the past or of landlord's own day deal with a wide variety of subjects. Was it table talk, imaginary conversations, hours of idleness, or none of these? So these lines were spoken for imaginary conversations written by Walter Savage Landon. So here B is the right option over here. Okay, moving on to the question number 18. Which of the following works of Huxley is not a novel? It's not a novel. So it's not a novel by Huxley. Ape and Essence is a novel. Chrome Yellow is a novel. Grey Eminence, Those Barren Leaves are also even, whereas Grey Eminence is not a novel, rather it's a biography, it's a political. So Grey Eminence, A Study in Religion and Politics, is a book by Aldous Huxley published in 1941. It's a biography of Francois Tremblay, the French monk who served as advisor to Cardinal de Richelieu and was referred to by others as Levin's Grace. As the subtitle indicates, Huxley is asking what is religion, what is politics, and how are religion and politics related. So here the right option is Grey Eminence, which is a biography of Francois Leclerc du Tremblay. Yeah. Man Alive is a novel by which writer? R.L. Stevenson, no. G.K. Chesterton, Galsworthy, or Hilaire Belloc. So here Man Alive was written by G.K. Chesterton. B is the right option. G.K. Chesterton is the right option. Moving on to the question number, let's look at the expression here. Man Alive, 1912, a book by G.K. Chesterton, retelling a popular theme both in his own philosophy and in the Christianity of the holy fools such as Dostoevsky's The Idiot and Cervantes' Don Quixote. Moving on to the question number 20 here. Which of the under mentioned essays is not by A.G. Gardiner? On being idle, In praise of idleness, On courage, All about dog. On being idle is a character, is an essay written by A.G. Gardiner. On courage is also an essay written by A.G. Gardiner. All about a dog is also an essay written by A.G. Gardiner. Whereas In praise of idleness was written by Bertrand Russell. So it was not written by A.G. Gardiner, rather it was written by Bertrand Russell. In Praise of Idleness and Other Essays is a 1935 collection of essays by the philosopher called Bertrand Russell. So here that is B is the right option over here. Moving on to the question number 21. The title of Huxley's novel, that is Brave New World, has been derived from a phrase appearing in Shakespeare's play. Very easy. Hamlet, Tempest, King Lear, Twelfth. So here Tempest is the right option over here. Moving on to the question number 22. The first play to be acted on the American stage. This is lesser work here. The first play to be acted on the American stage was Mrs. Mercy Warren's The Adulterer, Royal Taylor's The Contrast, Thomas Godfrey's The Prince of Parthia, or James Nelson's Baker, The Indian Princess. So the first play to be acted on the American stage was Thomas Godfrey is the Prince of Parthia. So C is the right option over here. C. Thomas Godfrey is the Prince of Parthia is the right option. Moving to the question 23 here. Which English novelist received the Nobel Prize in the year 1953? So which English novelist he has been awarded with the prestigious award, that is Nobel Prize, in the year 1953. Options are Graham Greene, C.P. Snow, Winston Churchill, Paul Scott. So here Paul Scott is the right option. Paul Scott he was awarded with the prestigious Nobel Prize in the year 1953. So here C is the right option over here. Moving into the question number 24, Arun Joshi, that is Indian existentialist novelist, that is Arun Joshi, and his famous magnum opus novel, that is Apprentice, is in the form of dialogue, letters, long monologue, oblique narrative. So here Apprentice is a dramatic monologue, it's a long monologue. So here C is the right option. It's in the form of long monologue or dramatic monologue. And you will see that here the novel is shaped as a series of dramatic monologues spoken by the protagonist narrator to a listener, and these monologues form its narrative body. So the novel is shaped as a series of dramatic monologues spoken by the protagonist narrator to a listener, and these monologues form its narrative body. Moving on to the question 25 here. Which of the volume of Carl Sandburg? So there is a poet called Carl Sandburg's poem first brought him fame and recognition. So you have to identify the poem. For which poem the poet Carl Sandburg got his fame and recognition. Your options are The People Yes, Good Morning America, Chicago Poem, or Smoke and Steel. So here the right option is Chicago Poem, and for this Chicago poem Carl Sandburg was praised and he got the recognition. So here C is the right option, Chicago Poem. Moving on to the question 26, Nature is an essay by which American writer? David Thoreau, Emerson, and Jefferson, or Edgar Allan Poe. So here B is the right option. Emerson's, the transcendentalist, has written the essay called Nature. So here B is the right option. B is the right option. Nature is a book length essay written by Ralph Waldo Emerson, published by James Monroe and Company in the year 1836. So Nature is a book length essay written by whom? Written by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Moving on to the question number 27 here. Edgar Allan Poe wrote reviews, etc. For a year for the magazine. So for which magazine Edgar Allan Poe has written? South Literary Messenger, Evening Post, South American Review, or none of these? Edgar Allan Poe has written a reviews for South Literary Messenger. So here A is the right option. Moving on to the question number 28. The Conquest of Canaan. The Conquest of Canaan is an epic poem by Edward Taylor, Timothy DeWitt, and John Trumbull, or none of these. The Conquest of Canaan is an epic poem written by Timothy DeWitt. So here B is the right option. Timothy DeWitt has written the poem, the epic poem called The Conquest of Canaan. Moving on to the question 29. Identify the source of the quotation given below here. Spirit of beauty, the dust consecrate. So this line appears in which work? You will have to identify the work, in which work this line appears, this quotation appears, that is spirit of beauty, that dust consecrate. So your options are My Last Duchess to a Skylark, Ode to Autumn, Hymn to Intellectual Beauty. So this line here appears, spirit of beauty, that dust consecrate, appears in the work, in the poem Hymn to Intellectual Beauty. D is the right option over here. Who wrote Shakespeare's later comedies? Who wrote Shakespeare's later comedies? Options as A.C. Bradley, Palmer D.J., Dr. Samuel Johnson, T.S. Eliot. So Shakespeare's later comedies were written by Palmer D.J. B is the right option. Moving on to the question 31. Who is the author of After Strange Gods? Who is the author of After Strange Gods? After Strange God was written by whom? Your options are Shaw, Robert Frost, T.S. Eliot, G.B. Shaw. After Strange God was written by T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot has written After Strange God. C is the right option over here. Who wrote the essay Common Pursuit? The essay, it is, I remember it that it was an essay. So who wrote the essay called Common Pursuit? Common Pursuit was written by F.R. Leavitt, Cecil D. Lewis, E.M. Foster, T.S. Eliot. So the common pursuit, the essay was written by Lewis, that is F.R. Lewis, whereas the play was written by Simon Gray. So the essay called Common Pursuit was written by F.R. Lewis, whereas in the same name there is a play called The Common Pursuit, and that play is written by Simon Gray, which follows the lives of 6 characters who first met as undergraduates at Cambridge University when they are involved in setting up a literary magazine called The Common Pursuit. And the work, that is Common Pursuit, a play by Simon Gray, is an allusion to F.R. Lewis' 1952 collection of essays, The Common Pursuit, that was published in Scrutiny. Okay. It was published in Scrutiny. So the Common Pursuit was published in Scrutiny, and the Common Pursuit, a play by Simon Gray, the title is an allusion to F.R. Lewis' work essay, that is Common Pursuit. Okay. Moving on to the question number 33. Identify the source of the quotation given below. Paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half plus that dies along her throat. Paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half plus that dies along her throat. My last Duchess, to a skylark, or to autumn, hymn to intellectual beauty. So these lines appear in here, My Last Duchess. My Last Duchess is the right option here. Okay. Moving on to question number 34. Where are the songs of spring? You identify the source of the quotation given below. Where are the songs of spring? Where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. This phrase, these lines appear in My Last Duchess, no? To a skylark, or to autumn, hymn to intellectual beauty. So where are the songs of spring? Where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. So these lines appear in Ode to Autumn. Ode to Autumn. C is the right option here. Ode to Autumn. Moving on to question 35 here. What is the genesis? The genesis of Dryden's long poem, that is called Absalom and Achitophel. Absalom and Achitophel's here, biblical tale of David and Absalom, Arthurian legend, political rivalry between England and Ireland, Norman conquest. So Dryden's long poem Absalom and Achitophel, here the genesis, the inspiration was from biblical tale of David and Absalom. So here A is the right option. And John Dryden based Absalom and Achitophel on a biblical incident where Absalom, king of David's favorite son, revolts against his father and usurps his throne after being persecuted by his false friend Achitophel. You have to match now. There are some poets and their works, that is poems. Richard Lovelake, Thomas Carew, John Suckling, and Robert Herrick. So why so pale and one fond lover? Hesperides, to Althea from prison, a rapture. So you know that Robert Herrick has written Hesperides. Hesperides was written by Robert Herrick, whereas a rapture is a work by Thomas Carew. Let's look at B4. B is the only 4 here. Yeah, B4. So here B is the right option here. A3, that is Why So Pale and Wan and Fond Lover, was written by John Suckling, whereas B, that is Hesperides, was written by Robert Herrick, and C1, that is To Althea from prison, was written by Richard Lovelake, and whereas a rapture was written by Thomas Carew. D2 here, rapture was written by Thomas Carew. So here B is the right option. Moving on to the question number 37. You have to identify the source of the quotation given below. Happy bows that can't shade your lips nor ever beat the spring adieu. So here happy bows that cannot shade your lips nor ever beat the spring adieu. My Last Duchess, To a Skylark, or To Autumn, Ode on a Grecian Urn. So these lines appear in Ode on a Grecian Urn. T is the right option over here. Saul Bellow's stature in post-war American letters can be compared to. So Saul Bellow's stature in post-war American letters can be compared to Henry James, Ernest Hemingway, Edith Wharton, John Steinbeck. So here he can be compared with Ernest Hemingway. So here B is the right option. Saul Bellow was credited with a sense of history by whom? Tony Tanner, I.A. Richards, William Emerson, or Henry James. So Saul Bellow was credited with a sense of history by Tony Tanner. A is the right option. A. Tony Tanner. Moving on to the question number 40 here. Geoffrey of Monmouth includes a dedication to which of the following historical personalities of Britain? Geoffrey of Monmouth includes a dedication. Your options are Robert R. Gloucester, well-run Count of Melun, King Henry I, Robert D. Beaumont. Robert D. Beaumont was not there. King Henry I was not there. So he has dedicated Robert R. of Gloucester and well-run Count of Milan. So here 1 and 2 is the right option. So here A1, both A and 2. So here A is the right option over here. Last question. The Charge of Light Brigade. This is written by Tennyson, commemorating Boer, the Battle of Trafalgar or the Crimean War. So here Tennyson in the poem The Charge of the Light Brigade has commemorated the Crimean War. So these were all 41 questions that I have discussed along with explanations. If you like the video, please do subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon to get more notifications. Do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you once again for watching the video.